Now that the leaves are starting to fall, you may be getting ready to grab the rake and clean them up. But before you do, our next guest suggests that you try a different approach instead of bagging and tossing them. Joining us now is Mike Goatley. He's a professor and extension turfgrass specialist from Virginia Tech. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and if you tell me that I don't have to rake my leaves, you're going to be my new best friend.
Well, I'll be your best friend because you don't have to rake the leaves now.
Yes, I love it. All right, so what's the best method then for our grass?
Ideally, it's simply to chop them up and use your mower and just keep grinding them up into smaller and smaller pieces. Introduce them back into the soil as a source of organic matter. Leaves don't have a lot of nutrient value, but there's a lot of carbon in there, and we can really improve our soil and improve our soil microbe population at the same time.
Wow. So yeah, so what is it specifically in the leaves? I mean, is it just something that just naturally just decomposes and then, helps the grass?
It does. They slowly but surely break down. So we're not overcome with grass clippings because the grass clippings themselves break down over time. Leaves aren't quite as easily broken down, but it is something that the microbes that live in the soil, all the bacteria, the fungi, they're going to break it down. They're going to release all that carbon back in the soil. So it's something we can benefit from.
Yeah. Okay. We were just looking at some video. So you just literally can just bring your mower out and just mow those leaves down.
The research has shown if you can get the mower over top of the leaf pile and just keep at it, because a lot of people have a lot of leaves in some situations, just keep after it, keep mowing, keep introducing that material back into the soil.
Yeah. How fine do the leaves need to be?
It's going to keep, every time you mow, it's going to keep chopping up the smaller particles. One type of mower that's out there, it's not a hard one to find anymore, it's called a mulching mower. And that mower just keeps cycling the clippings underneath the deck, chopping them into smaller pieces every time you cut the grass. So mow regularly. We tell people don't remove more than a third of the leaf blade. You keep cutting it in the fall on a regular basis, just keep chopping those leaves up, putting them back into the canopy of the turf.
Wow. All right. Well, there you go. Forget about the rake. I love it. All right, let's talk about fertilizer for a minute. Usually we think about that for the spring, but really the fall is ideal to do fertilizing, right?
Absolutely. It is the time most of us have cool season grasses in the Roanoke Valley, and those grasses want to be fed in the fall. But our mindset is we're tired of working the yard after a long hot summer. Who wants to mess with it anymore? Now's the time to fertilize. We're trying to get people to understand your fall fertilization program is going to lead to the best looking lawn next spring. And actually we sell a lot of fertilizer in the spring, but we'd rather see people purchase and make the application in the fall.
In the fall. What about aerating my lawn? And how do I know if I need that?
Aerating, don't keep it, make it too difficult to do. Take a screwdriver and probe your lawn and go out, and if you can probe 3 to 4 inches without having to stab the soil, then you probably don't need to aerate. But if your lawn is really tight and compacted, you have pets, you have kids, you know that there's a lot of traffic, then you want to go through and get one of the aerating machines that's going to pull the course. They sometimes call that a plugger. You want to run that over, and again, fall is the ideal time to do that on your cool season lawn.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about the reseeding for a minute. Is fall the time to do that as well?
It is. Same thing for cool season grasses, which most of the lawns in this area are fescue or bluegrass or a combination. If you've got problems that have struggled, we tell people, think about getting a soil test done through the local extension office or maybe one of your specialty supply stores. Get that done. Then make a decision about, why is my grass struggling? And if it's struggling, what's the best grass to replace it with? And fall is the ideal time to reseed.
Yeah, I have a lot of weeds in my yard. What do I do about that? Is now the time to tackle that as well?
It's also the great time to do that because a lot of those weeds, we do have chemistry available that will easily control them. And at this time of year, most of our really desirable plant materials, our trees, our shrubs, a lot of our ornamentals, well, they're done doing their thing. So now it's also much safer for them in terms of making those types of applications in the landscape.
Okay, where can we go for more information on all of this? And I have to say that I spent, I think, a little bit too much time this morning on your YouTube page. What's it called?
Well, that one is the Calling Dr. Turf series.
Yes, I love it. That was really informative.
Well, we appreciate that you watch it. That's one thing we're really trying to get more people to take a look at. We made 8 short videos which we try to use humor, and it's dangerous for a turfgrass scientist to try humor, but we try to use some humor in terms of telling people easy, smart ways to manage their lawns.
It worked. It worked. I was on there for quite a while. I guess I shouldn't admit that, but I mean, it was great. So if you have questions, yeah, get on to the YouTube and look at that. But then also there's that link.
It's the Virginia Cooperative Extension website. We'd love to have people come, anything and everything. All of our publications are on the VCE website for turfgrass management.
Okay, and we'll put a link on that on our website as well. Mike, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you all for having me.
I'm so excited I don't have to rake this fall.